Hello, hello, hello. This is Adrian Igo or Adrian Obi with Astrology, a look inside. And I am actually doing these live today because I am a procrastinator who has her moon in Taurus, according to Western astrology, and her moon in Aries, according to Eastern astrology. But either way, I was not doing as I was supposed to do. So I'm going to go through these as quickly as possible. For some reason, I feel like I'm at a weird angle today. I mean, I really do. Look, you can see different parts of my house and everything. And I don't quite know how not to be on this angle, but I guess this is where we are right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on with you Saggies for the month of March. Okay, so I just got to tell you guys something. I have been dealing and wrestling with doing my readings for February. Now, I know I have issues with Aquarius and Pisces in my charts. And so I just hope that I give you guys the message that I need to give you. Because I've really struggled with this. And I don't know what that is. But the first thing I will say is that you guys are still dealing with Jupiter in the solar first house, or the natural first house of Sag. It's at home in Sag, and well, I mean, just look at me. I guess you can kind of tell by my arms. I am not a person who is wanting for food, and I supposedly am a Sag with Sag rising in Eastern astrology. And so I might be a good example of what Jupiter in the first house for Sag is doing right now. Because Jupiter in the first house does tend to make us a little big, larger. And it's not usually in a bad way, because it's not the same type of big, I think, as you get with like Cancer and Taurus when they're a little extra, right? This is like, yeah. So it's a little bit different than that, but it's where you're bigger, stronger. You're probably healthier, most likely, right? I mean, I'm wondering if you're feeling that, an improvement to your health. I've been dancing almost all of February. So I wonder how it's affecting other Saggies right now. I will say about that health thing, though, with you Saggies, is that Mars is also going to be in your solar sixth house, in that sixth house area for Sagittarius. So all throughout March, you're going to have emphasis in the sixth house of your health. So that's your health, that's work. That could be maybe even stress or health issues connected to work because of things going on at work. Can see that happening. And the reason I keep saying that there might be an issue there is because Uranus is going to be in Taurus, which is the solar fifth or sixth house. So you might feel that. It's at 0 degrees. It's kind of a fate degree. And so you might feel that in March. I mean, yeah, sixth house. Now, the big thing is on the 6th of March. There's going to be a new moon in Pisces. And that's going to be at 15 degrees and 47 minutes of Pisces. It's the sun's going to be there. The moon's going to be there. And amazingly, Neptune's going to be almost there too. It's at 16 degrees. That's less than a few minutes away. So imagine the moon, the sun, Neptune, all conjunct in Pisces. And Mercury's there at a fate degree at 29 degrees. I'm thinking there's going to be a state of confusion, but that's just the way I think. I do think it's going to be somewhat confusing. Now, this is going to be falling in your solar fourth house. That's your family. That's home, comfort, security. It could be endings that, but the mother, nurturing, caring. The sun conjunct the moon, I can see extra nurturing and caring might be needed that day. There is Neptune there conjuncted, so there could be something, a mishap. Please be aware of that. That's going to be affecting your home. The crazy thing is, since the sun, the moon, Neptune, they're all down there in the fourth, but what they're doing is making this opposition to the 10th house. So you may feel that on the 6th of March in the house of the career, because the opposite of Pisces is, well, Virgo. And so that Virgo is going to be opposite that moon. And in a way, it kind of is giving off more of that health vibe, right? Just be cautious that day. I don't know why I keep getting health issues. The crazy thing is all month for Sagittarius, the planets are under the horizon, except for the North Node, which is in Cancer. That's going to be sitting in the 8th house area all month. And I'll kind of go over that real quick. But on the 20th, there's going to be a full moon in Libra. And it, too, is in a fate area. It's at 0.09 minutes. 0 degrees of Libra. Full moon. And at the same time, opposing it, the sun will be in Aries. That will be falling in your solar 5th house. That's romance. That's children. That's taking a chance. That's love. That's dating. That's, well, entrepreneurship is also there. Gambling, risk-taking. Play the lotto. The sun's going to be in Aries. The moon will be opposed, but I mean, the sun's going to be in Aries there at the same time. So, I mean, I would do it. The one thing I would say is that when the full moon is in the 11th house and the sun is in the 5th house, there's always that possibility that there could be some type of weirdness with friends. I could see someone who's always been a friend suddenly not being a friend after that day. That could happen for some people. Or it could be that it's something that could affect your children. So if you have children, please be aware of that. I mean, the sun is in Aries, right? And although the moon is in Libra, and that spells compromise and equilibrium, but sun is in Aries, and it's in the 5th house. And that's children on children, because Aries rules the child, right? So be careful of your children that day. I just wanted to say, for some reason, I keep going back to that Mars in the 6th house. That worries me. Please be aware of that Taurus in the 6th house. Wow. Could be health, but it just could be something stubborn going on at work. You know, Tauruses are stubborn. And I just think with Uranus heading into Taurus, finally back in Taurus, and Mars in Taurus in the 6th house, that's either your career or your work life. And I would think if something does happen in the work life, that it would come out of the blue because it's Uranus. And even with Mars, it would come out of the blue. So that would be either the health or the work. Be aware of it. I would extra be aware of it on the 6th, I just mentioned, with that Virgo. Okay. I think that would be good advice that day. Let me see something. 29 degrees. That's almost... Well, that's parallel. No, we'll be fine. Venus is going to be in the 3rd house in Aquarius in March. That's great for communication. Whoa, you guys are going to be great communicators, really. And you're going to be thinking a lot during the month of March because, well, it's down low and under the horizon. It's subjective. So you're going to be thinking very subjectively, but probably planning and plotting out everything to the detail. Some of you may experience sextiles early on, or just throughout the month, I would say. Yeah, because we start the month, I believe, at 5 degrees of Aquarius. So throughout the month, most Saggies are going to have that sextile. And that's a good time to make proposals, make speeches, call people you care about, reach out to your loved ones. Oh, especially family, brothers and sisters. Yeah, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, family. It's matter of fact, that's it. The whole month, family. It's all about family. The whole month, it's all about family. The children, watch them. The house, watch that. I think the house is going to be great. Neptune's there. That, I just, for some reason, I just thought something. Oh, wow. This is going to be a good month, I think. In my mind, I just think partying in the house with Neptune and the sun conjunct there on the 6th, that should be a happy day. And Venus in the 3rd house, communication is going to be smooth. It's going to be great. I would say if you need to make some type of proposal or some type of speech or something where you really need to have your communication just smooth things over with people, this Sag is the month to do it, because Venus is going to be sextile your sun all month. That's beautiful. Now, the thing to watch out for is that darn Saturn in the 2nd house of money. I'm upset about it. And I don't know how many other Saggies are upset about it. I'm upset about Saturn being in the 2nd house of money. And Pluto is there too. It's at 22 degrees. It's forming, I don't know, just hoping. Let's hope that something good happens with Pluto. Supposedly, when you have nothing, you're supposed to rise from the ashes and have something. So let's hope that's what Pluto is plotting for the money house for you Saggies for the month of March. Oh my goodness. And Saturn and Pluto are getting closer and closer together. Oh my goodness. They're going to be close by April. They're probably going to get very close. Because I'm almost sure Pluto is scheduled to go retrograde soon. And so there's going to be that Saturn-Pluto conjunction soon in that 2nd house. That's money. If you've been working well and you've been just planning and plotting and organizing and preparing, that's the word. Prepare. Saturn's there. Prepare. You've got maybe, wow, not long. Saturn and Pluto are going to conjunct and you need to be prepared. I'm praying. Oh, I just thought about something for myself. I need to contact my own landlord about my lease agreement because that comes up in March. The home life. Stay on top of things like leases and rent. Make sure the money with Saturn in the 2nd house is good. Wow, yeah, check on your leases and stuff like that, definitely. Because with the North Node in Cancer in the 8th house, well, that's still the 4th house in a way, right? That's Cancer. So it's still, the emphasis is going to be on, that's still home and comfort and nurturing and family and all of that. But now that's emphasis being opposed by Saturn. Ooh, and Pluto. Pluto actually more than Saturn. So, yeah, watch things around the house. Make sure all your things like your leases, your insurances, all of that is taken care of. Health insurance, home insurance. Watch the children. Prepare with the money. And you should be fine. Okay, Saggies. Now, I just wanted to go over something really quick. I want to make sure I've got everything done that I wanted to go over real quick here. I made some notes. What did I say here? Okay. Oh, I see what I have. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to make sure I went over is that on March 5th, Mercury is going to be in Pisces. So as of March 5th, Mercury is retrograding in Pisces at 2 o'clock Eastern. I got this time and everything. But yeah, on the 5th, Mercury is retrograding in Pisces. Okay, how can you miss that? So you know what that means, right? When Mercury goes retrograde, we everything. We're reeing everything. Oh my gosh, why do I get these thoughts? I always get, okay. So I said it during the reading because it's happening to me. And Eastern astrology, I'm supposedly a Sag. Everything, renew, release and reassign and regroup and, re-up on your lease. So since this is occurring in the solar 4th house of the home, make sure you check on your leases like I need to do. Check on all of that. Even if you own your home, make sure your taxes are up to date. All your legal documents. Legal documents are going to be important as long as the North Node is in your 8th house, the solar 8th house. So check on that now for sure, especially with that retrograde in Pisces, because it's actually going to cross over. It's going to make a trine to that North Node. So because Mercury's going to go from 28 or 29 degrees, I think it is. Yeah, 29 degrees in 30 minutes to 16 degrees. So it's definitely going to go backwards, making a trine to the North Node and actually probably affecting several other planets. So, there's quite a bit going on with that Mercury going retrograde. And my advice to that is everything. Renew, rejuvenate, relive, revive, like I said, resign your lease, regain trust, look up every word you can and do those things, because this is the time. And we've got until the 28th of March to take advantage of Mercury's retrograde. Don't fear it. Some people fear Mercury retrograde, especially when you're a Sag and it's happening in Pisces. Don't fear it. I don't think so. I don't think you should. I think this is whatever is going on in the home, whatever happens, it's because it's supposed to happen. So now that I've told you this, go and check your lease. Like I need to go check my lease. I'm going to have to get on that because the way my lease is set up, if my landlord doesn't contact me by the time my lease is due, which is, I think, the 1st of March, only 10 days out, I think I only have 10 days to move, which would only give me less than 20 days. That is a very Neptune in the 4th house thing. Oh my gosh. I hope you Saggies go check all of that. Yeah. So that should be interesting. Now, on the 6th of March, as I mentioned, Uranus does enter Taurus. And it's going to be there. Now, this is weird. I took notes of this because I thought it was weird how it goes back and forth, back and forth. But it's going to enter Taurus March 6th, and then it's going to stay there until July 7th of 2025. And then it must do some type of retrograde or go out of Taurus into Gemini probably. But then it goes back into Taurus from November 7th, 2025 to April 7th, 2026. So this Uranus in Taurus is really going to affect a lot of us. It affects the central part of our life. It affects changes in fortune. I mean, I look at it this way. If you're a person that right now, you don't have a lot. You don't have a lot of possessions. You don't have a lot of money. You don't have a lot of fancy things. Like you might not even own a home. Like I just live in an apartment. By the time July 7th, 2025 gets here, you probably are going to have a change in fortune from where you are now. If you prepare for it and, you learn whatever lesson this Uranus wants to teach you about stuff like money and possessions and what you own and how to make money, investments, and things like that. I would think if you are Sag and you've got natally, if you've got Uranus happening in the 5th house, the 8th house, or 2nd house, then yeah, you're gonna need like money mantras and everything, I think, because this is gonna be a major focus. I mean, that's a long time. So I mentioned about the new moon that happened on the 6th. I talked about that. It has a lot to do with faith, I think, and creativity and stuff, especially with the house situation. Oh, please, I'm praying I do not have to move. Oh, you have no idea. It will take a lot of faith to believe in that. I mentioned on the 20th that, about that full moon in Libra. Sun's going to be in Aries. One of the things I didn't mention is that does set up the 1st house, 7th house issue. So there could be an issue with relationships. Could be. I'm not saying there is, just saying there could be, because it's the natural 1st house, 7th house. So be aware of that. That happens on the 20th at 9:43 Eastern. And on the 26th, Venus enters Pisces. I will say this. If you experience any problems on the 20th of March with a significant other, then on the 26th of March, you should be able to schmooze it over. I think so. Because Venus enters Pisces that day. And although that is square Sag, I do think it's a good place for Pisces. On the 28th, Mercury goes direct. I think I've mentioned that. But that's going to be happening at 16 degrees. And on the 31st, Mars enters Gemini, and that should take care of that. I don't even want to go into the discussion about Mars in Gemini on the 31st. I'll save that for my next one. I'll include it then, because that's opposing you guys or me. And that's more of that relationship stuff. And then Mars is going to be there. So I guess that means relationships are going to be really important. So remember that. Okay, you guys, I am going to go on to my next one. And I hope you got whatever messages that I was led to tell you. I've just kind of rambled there. But I'm sure I'll come back during the month with more information, especially since there is going to be that Mars and Gemini at the end of March. Well, it's been a pleasure. And as usual, you Saggies have my heart. Thank you so much for your support. If you haven't already, please stop by astrologyaLookInside.com and subscribe to us there. Also, please like and share and subscribe to our videos here on YouTube. And please share our videos so people know more about what I do here on YouTube. And you can find us on Facebook at Astrology A Look Inside. And I also give free mini readings in our group on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/Astrology A Look Inside. And finally, I am now on Patreon, and you can become a patron at Patreon to get lots of freebies that I give throughout the month. Okay, you guys, it's been a pleasure. Much love, much light, much blessings to you all. Mwah. Happy March to you.